So dear participants, dear friends, colleagues, Your Excellency, welcome to the Chamber of Commerce and good morning. Good real winter morning. The heaven is clear, the sun is coming, and I'm sure that the positive atmosphere together with us will be during this meeting. First of all, allow me, on behalf of you, all participants here in the chamber and via Zoom, on behalf of the Belarusian Chamber of Commerce, to express our sincere gratitude, Your Excellency, for your participation, for your support. This our common initiative to organize this kind of event. Thank you very much, and it's a great pleasure for us and the unique opportunity for our Belarusian business and privilege. In spite of all obstacles what we are having now, thanks for pandemic, in spite of the problems of communication, we have this unique opportunity, real unique opportunity, and the big privilege, listen information from you, Your Excellency, from our Pakistani partners. What's the modern Pakistan? How can we develop our relationship in the business? How can we support initiative of our businesses? As a matter of fact, that's our mission of the Chamber of Commerce. It's creation of the favorable platform for the businesses, for developing our cooperation. And I'm very happy that we organized this meeting in spite of all problems. And from other side, I'm sure that's very important and very serious event for our businesses, for our companies, because a significant number of the Belarusian companies, representative of our companies here in our conference room and join us via Zoom. It's a good demonstration that we have the big interest of our companies to develop our relationship, to find a common project, to develop our business cooperation with Pakistani partners. Unfortunately, it's not a secret that our bilateral trade volume between Belarus and Pakistan remain quite modest. But we have some idea to find the level of the $1 million of dollars. Very ambitious task, but I'm absolutely sure that we have big potential for development of that, to step by step to create the serious base of our economic and trade cooperation. The mission of the chamber is very simple: to use all our instruments, all our services to support and to assist our business here in Belarus, our partners from Pakistan. And Chamber has extensive cooperation experience with Pakistani partners, especially with Federation of Pakistan Chamber of Commerce. Since 2015, we organize 7 large-scale business events, 2 of them with participation of the heads of states. I participate in one of them in Islamabad together with our president. And also we have this special platform for business cooperation as a bilateral business council. And by the way, we are planning in this year to hold another session of our Belarus-Pakistan Business Council. And I would like to invite all our Belarusian companies to take an active part in them. And thank you very much, Excellency, for supporting this initiative and this platform of cooperation. Another good opportunity, it's a typical service from the Chamber of Commerce, opportunity to find partners and promote your business. In Pakistan is a national exposition in International Trade and Industry Fair in Karachi, scheduled in November this year. that's in our agenda. Please, we welcome to participate in this fair. The Chamber of Commerce provided all kinds of services for your participation. What else I would like to add that we have our representative in Islamabad, Mr. Jurabek Kyrgyzbekov is our representative of the Belarusian Chamber of Commerce in Pakistan, in Islamabad. He is our loyal partner and main contact point for businesses in Pakistan market. So the Chamber is ready to support all kind of business initiative, all kind of the project. And also our big privilege that we have the very good level of communication with Embassy of Pakistan, of course, with our embassy in Islamabad. So Your Excellency, allow me to repeat one more time. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for your participation. I'm sure that's very positive event in this special condition what we are having in the business life today. So Your Excellency, with our words of gratitude, allow me to invite you to the microphone.
Good morning and dobre utra to all of you. It's a great pleasure for me, Your Excellency, to be here in this august chamber, which is the largest umbrella organization of all the trade bodies in Belarus. A couple of months ago, we had the opportunity of having a meeting with the Honorable Chairman in this very building, and he very kindly offered that a business meeting could be arranged at this premises for the businessmen of Belarus, as well as he proposed that business council meetings between Pakistani Business Council and Belarusian Business Council could be held virtually because of the pandemic situation. So we are very thankful to you, sir, for not only offering, but also executing the offer within a very short span of 2.5 months' time. So it's a very great honor for me and my team here to be here today and interacting with you. It's very encouraging that today's event is not only being held at this premises, but it's also being telecast through the Zoom network so that larger business community could also take part in the event. So I hope that this event will be very fruitful, because communication, I understand, is the key towards broadening our trade as well as other relations. Because unless we understand each other's market and the dynamics of those, the markets, it's very difficult to move ahead with our plans of business. So in the next almost 20-25 minutes, I will show what Pakistan is and what Pakistan has to offer and how our bilateral relations has been during the past, especially during the past few years. But I am also lucky to have our Minister Trade in Moscow, who is concurrently accredited to Belarus online, and he will also cover half part of the presentation, mainly on investment and tourism. So without further ado, let me begin with the presentation. The name is Pakistan, and Pakistan, as you can see on the screen, is a land which is enriched by gushing rivers, towering mountains, abundant fertile land, significant coastline, and a land enriched beauty with rich cultural heritage. As a state, Pakistan is only 73 years old. We came into independence in 1947, but the history of this area dates back to some 7,000 years. Many dynasties and invaders, for example, Maurya, Gandhara, Arabs, Mughals, they have ruled this part of the world. And of course, before 1947, it was Indian subcontinent, so we were part of the same continent. The British, they ruled this subcontinent for almost 150 years. And it was only on 14th of August, 1947, Pakistan became independent. If you see the map, Pakistan is located very strategically because it's a kind of confluence point between Middle East, Central Asia, and South Asia. And it has a warm port for sea communication. So a lot of communication which goes towards the north, towards Central Asia, goes through Pakistan. In the east, we have India. In the northeast, we have China. In the west is Afghanistan, and then Iran, and in the south is the Arabian Sea. Incidentally, this area is one of the largest populated region in the world. So 1/5 of the world's population lives in this part of the world. It's a dynamic and complex and one of the fastest growing economic regions in the world. As a country, Pakistan has a parliamentary form of government. So we have a prime minister who is the head of government and president is the head of state. And then we have a very vibrant media. We have a Supreme Court and executive which runs the day-to-day affairs of the government. So around 120 television channels and media outlets operate in Pakistan. And it's a vibrant democracy, as I already mentioned, with very strong cultural heritage. Coming over to business, the GDP in 2019 was 278 billion US dollar, which is in nominal terms. And it came under around top 50 economies of the world. And we are expecting that by 2023, as per PPP, purchasing power parity, Pakistan will be the 22nd largest economy in the world. In terms of the economic distribution, 60% of the economy is based on services, and 20% is manufacturing, while the remaining almost 19% is agriculture products. So Pakistan originally has been an agrarian society. Some of the products that Pakistan has, a competitive advantage and it produces to the best possible thing is cotton producer. For example, we are the 4th largest cotton producer in the world. And leather products are again 4th largest producer of leather products. And then sports goods, for example, over 50% of world football, they are produced in Pakistan. So the football which is used in the World Cup is produced in Pakistan. And surgical instruments, they form part of another important segment of Pakistan's exports. We are the 8th largest producer of surgical instruments. One city, Sialkot, is famous for being the hub of the production of sports as well as surgical instruments. And incidentally, this region has a very strong dynamic business community. The community, they have built their own this airline. They have built their own airport, their own sea, this is a dry port, and they are very dynamic in terms of social work as well. Overall, in agriculture products, like Belarus, Pakistan is a large agriculture product producing country. It's the 6th largest products. For example, these are some of the products which we are producing in abundance. Cotton, 4th largest. Dates is 5th largest. Cattle, we have the 8th largest. And wheat and milk is the 5th largest. While Pakistan produces milk and the 5th largest producer, yet there is a demand for dry milk from foreign countries. And I could see that there is a strong demand for Belarus produces milk powder, and there is a great demand for this product in Pakistan. Meat, oranges, rice, wool. And out of these, some of the products are coming to this market, but not in big quantity, of course, in a very small quantity. I will mention about the exact trade figures in the subsequent slides. Largest exporter of cotton yarn, 2nd largest producer of rock salt. So the Himalayan pink salt, which some of you may have been aware or may have seen it in shops or may have seen it in different kind of wellness centers, spa, they come from Pakistan. So the 2nd largest reservoir of rock salt is located in Pakistan. And then we have the third largest exporter of raw cotton and carpets, producer of mango. While many countries produce mango, Pakistani mangoes are considered to be one of the most sweetest of all. And I understand that twice Mango Festival was held in Belarus, also in Minsk, and we will plan hopefully to have another Mango Festival this year also. Excellency, we'll have a chance to taste some Pakistani mangoes. And there is one business firm in Belarus which is working to start importing mangoes this year. So let's see where do we end up. And likewise, exporter of dry fruits and poultry and exporter of seafood. Seafood, I was looking at the figures that it's one thing which is imported by Belarus, and there is a strong potential for Pakistani exporters of seafood in this area. So there is a certain gap. In terms of mineral resources, Pakistan is a blessed country. We have 4 weathers, we have land, we have Arabian Sea, we have desert, we have fertile land, then we have the green hills, and then we have the highest mountains. So alongside these very topography, we have second largest reservoir of copper and gold. And then coal and natural gas and salt mines, these are the top 4 products which are located in Pakistan. So all in all, Pakistan has an 17 million middle class household because it's a country of 220 million people. So it is the 6th largest country, and very soon it will be the 5th largest country in the world. So in itself, this size of the country is massive. So the moment the income of the people start going up, the consumption will also automatically will increase. So what we can say is 17 million middle class household, 102 middle class individuals, and it's growing. So basically what we are saying is not only a country which is located ideally for transshipment to Central Asia, to China, to Afghanistan, the location because it affords that sea line of communication, but also the size of the country itself is huge, so which provides a lot of opportunity for the traders as well as for the investors. Coming over to Pakistan's relationship with Belarus, we established our diplomatic relations, but the embassies were only opened in 2014 in Pakistan, and Pakistan embassy in Minsk was opened in 2015 August. So that was the occasion when Prime Minister of Pakistan also visited Belarus. Ever since, there has been several VVIP visits, as the Honorable Chairman mentioned, that twice the President of Belarus has visited Pakistan, the Prime Minister of Pakistan visited once, and then we also had Prime Minister of Belarus visiting Pakistan. We have strong parliamentary engagements. Both the parliaments are having strong engagements. We have good education to education cooperation going on. And then even the military to military cooperation is also increasing. 2 years back, almost 1.5 years back, the highest ranking military officer in Pakistan, the Joint Chief of Staff Committee Chairman, he visited along with the delegation to Belarus. And we are hoping that this year will be some more engagements in this area. So all in all, we can say that political ties are very good. As the Honorable Chairman mentioned, unfortunately, matching with the political ties or the depth of the relationship, the economic relations have still not reached there. Of course, there may be certain issues, there may be certain awareness issues also, but we need to cover those gaps, and we have to move forward. We have signed 77 agreements and MOUs during these 5-6 years. So nearly all aspects are covered. We have Joint Ministerial Commission. We are hoping that this Joint Ministerial Commission also takes place in the month of April or May. The dates have been proposed, so we are waiting for the finalization of the dates. Likewise, the Federation of Pakistan Chamber of Commerce has agreed to hold the virtual Business Council meeting as was proposed by the Honorable Chairman 2 months ago. And we are hoping that other activities which are related to joint working groups on agriculture, industries, science and technology, and IT would also take place, and we are working on implementing those MOUs. Coming over to the bilateral trade figure between the two countries, the last year figure 2019 was $50 million, but in 2020, it's slightly more than $50 million. So I have the figure of 36.1, if it is correct, but 52. So it's increase of $2 million as compared to 2019. The figure in itself is very small, but we have to see that despite pandemic situation, where the overall trade with other countries have dropped by around 6 to 8%, with Pakistan at least we have maintained, and there is a slight increase, which suggests that if we push little harder, things could roll in a much faster way. This was the first 10 months figure, which was 41 million, but since now the latest figures have come till the December, so it's $52 million, in which Pakistan's share is around $16.5 million, and the trade is heavily in favor of Belarus. These are the main products that Pakistan is exporting to Belarus, which includes rice, article of apparel, and edible fruits and nuts, which is basically the citrus fruit, oranges, and then other made-up textile articles and leather and surgical and footwear and cotton. The amount in itself is not substantial, but this is the overall export products. And these are the imports of Pakistan from Belarus. The largest being tractors and parts, fertilizers, potash, man-made staple fiber, rubber and articles, and cereal and machinery equipment and organic chemicals. These are the products which are being exported by Belarus to Pakistan. Now, we have tried to find out the trade potential gap using the International Trade Center's website, which suggests that one of the highest potential for Pakistani exports to Belarus could be in the area of toilet, kitchen, linen of terry fabrics. And then we have this hosiery and men's garments and all the other items which are shown here. So these are the immediate, gap which is available, which we do not have to compete with any other partner. So that based on the price competitiveness, quality, as well as the product details, these are the areas where Pakistan can immediately enhance its exports to Belarus. Likewise, this is the second chart showing the same thing in terms of its sequencing. So the first being here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have just calculated around 25 products which has competitive advantage and possibility of exports to Belarus. This is another version of the same thing, so I'll just skip this. And this is the potential for Belarusian products for Pakistan. So, for example, potassium and low-fat milk powder, diesel-powered trucks and dumpers and tractors. So these are around 25 products which Belarusian exporters can avail the opportunity to enhance their exports to Pakistan. I will allow now my trade minister, who is based in Moscow, to cover the investment part and tourism part. So thank you very much for patient hearing. And of course, we both will be available for question and answer session in the subsequent time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Please applause. Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I just want to add that back to my welcome address. Thank you, first of all, for your presentation, the possibility for Belarus export products to market of Pakistan. I just want to back to organize a national exposition in Karachi in this autumn of this year. According with our practice, we prepared the marketing research for each company who participated, according with the products of each Belarusian company who wants to participate in this event. So it will be also unique opportunity to open the Pakistan as a new market, new partners. And thank you very much again, Your Excellency. As you mentioned, now it's a possibility for us to listen Minister for Trade and Investment from Embassy of Pakistan in Moscow, Mr. Nazir Hamid, via Zoom. Mr. Nazir, I hope you are ready to join us. Please, the floor is yours.
Most of the things has been covered in an elaborative manner by the ambassador. I will be running through the investment and tourism opportunities available in Pakistan. Before going that, I will just slightly touch about the Pakistan's external trade statistics. It's about 66 for the year 2020. It's about $66 billion. Pakistan external trade is on constant increase in previous years. Encouraging part was that during pandemic in 2020, Pakistan's exports recovered and performed better than the year 2019 and when compared with its competitors in the region as well. These are Pakistan global exports. Agro-food products comprise the top position with the 23.4%, followed by textiles, metals and minerals for pharmaceuticals. And the pie chart on the right side further elaborates these sectors into subsectors. These are the country-wise export partners. European Union, the #1, followed by USA, China, UAE, and Afghanistan. These are Pakistan global imports. Mineral products, machinery, chemicals takes the highest position. And if we have a cursory look at the import structures of Pakistan, it tells us that almost 60% of the import items are those which are required for the industrial use, which tells us that the industrial output is on increase and the industrial economies is on expand in Pakistan. These are country-wise import partners, China being the first, followed by European Union, USA, United Arab Emirates, Singapore, and Qatar. Though the potential of products which the Belarusian companies can export to Pakistan has already been highlighted by the ambassador, but still I would like to that the main top 5-6 sectors which have the great potential are depicted in this slide. It's the chemical products, pesticides, fertilizers, oil products, oil and gas equipment, oil field services, chickpeas, peas, lentils. We do import millions of worth dollars of these products from around the world. Even from Russia, we do import about only chickpeas of $100 million. Then timber and wood products, high precision cutting and polishing equipment, and metal products. So these are the sectors which the Belarusian companies should focus more if they want to get into the import market of Pakistan or export products from Pakistan to from Belarusia to Pakistan. This slide tells about what can be the mode of while entering into the Pakistani market. There can be joint ventures with the Pakistani companies, participation in tenders by aligning with Pakistani companies, direct marketing can be a channel, agency agreements can be signed with Pakistani companies, and distribution channels can be looked into to introduced into the Pakistani market. Internet participation in international exhibitions, that's a tool which is known worldwide. That can be used by the Belarusian exporting companies. Trade Development Authority of Pakistan is the official trade promotion agency entrusted with the task of trade promotion by the government of Pakistan. Belarusian businesses can find out their partners while visiting the website of Trade Development Authority of Pakistan. It's a they have a very useful website which is available in many languages, including Russian language. On the right top of the website main page, there is a tab from where the language can be selected. And this website is extremely useful. It have all the details of the events going to take place. It has exporters directories. It has information about the international exhibitions going to take place. It contains information about B2B meetings. It has market study reports. So I will encourage strongly to Belarusian companies to must visit this website. And just in case if there is any confusion or clarification to navigate the website, we can always be approached and we can help the Belarusian companies in this regard. And now I will come and touch upon the investment climate and opportunities in Pakistan. So 5 reasons to invest in Pakistan: geostrategic location, population and workforce, economic outlook, investment policy, and special economic zone. Some of these features have already been explained in the previous presentation, like geostrategic location and economic outlook of Pakistan. So I will skip these 2 elements and I will stick to the population and workforce, investment policy, and special economic zones. Geostrategic location has already been explained. Investment policy. Pakistan has the most open, reliable, friendly, and transparent investment policy in the region. The major features of the policy have been mentioned in this slide: 100% repatriation of profits and dividends, no requirement of minimum investment, investments with 100% foreign capital, easing of currency control, like the repatriation of the dividends. There is no issue on that, tax holidays, and 100% protection of foreign investment. Pakistan's official investment promotion agency is Federal Board of Investment. Its website gives the complete details of the projects available, the details of the investment policy, all other relevant details. It tells which are the preferred sectors, which sectors attracted the most investment in Pakistan. So I will encourage the Belarusian companies interested to must visit the website of Federal Board of Investment, and investment is being accorded high priority in Pakistan, and Federal Board of Investment directly works under the office of the Prime Minister of Pakistan. So I will again encourage the companies to visit their website and get more information about this. There are many opportunities where the investment can bear a lot of dividends. Population and workforce. Pakistan is a country of 220 million people, and 55% of the people are below the age of 19. I mean, youth bulge is there. We have trained and experienced engineers, bankers, lawyers, and all kind of professionals. It's an English-speaking workforce. Pakistan is projected among the fastest growing economies, projected to become world's 20th largest economy by 2030 and 16th by 2050. We have special economic zones. There are different kind of special economic zones where investment can be made. Some are under China-Pakistan economic corridor. Some are outside this corridor. And then there is a possibility of creating your own special economic zone. There are options available for that. There are special incentives like income tax exemptions, customs duties exemptions, preferential rent and tax conditions, preferential rates on utilities. The information about these economic zones is again available on Federal Board of Revenue's website in detail. Now, I would like to point out the sectors which are of interest for the Belarusian investors, and they can earn comprehensive and much more dividends if they interest in these sectors. One is the information technology. New technologies like 3G, 4G, broadband connections, business process outsourcing, freelancing, software development. The other sector is the financial sector of Pakistan, where dividends are really high. Other sectors, though there are many other sectors, preferred sectors like agriculture, wood industry, but for the Belarusian investors, textiles and machinery can be very potential sectors. Reason being, Pakistan is known for its textile products. In 2016, we organized a Pakistani textile exhibition in Minsk, and I was there during the exhibition. And the trade visitors which visited that exhibition, their response, their interest, and shown by them was immense. So in textile sectors, Belarusian companies can look into the possibility of joint ventures with Pakistani companies, either semi-production in Pakistan and finishing that product in Belarusia. Demand for this textiles is on increase, not only in Pakistan, but in Belarusia as well. So this is an important sector. And machinery, there can be joint ventures in auto parts, agriculture, manufacturing of agriculture machinery, possibility of localization of joint production, either in Pakistan or Belarus. Construction sector. Present government has a special focus on housing and construction sector. This sector provides an immense opportunity for the profitable investment returns. Our government has introduced housing schemes, and banks are offering loans on a very low interest rate to people buying houses. And this construction industry, when it moves up, it takes with it at least 50 other industrial sectors, which are contributing their products into this industry. So it is the focused area of Government of Pakistan, and Belarusian companies which want to invest in Pakistan can look into the possibility of investing in this construction and housing sector. This slide tells us about starting business in Pakistan. It has been made a lot easier recently. Ease of doing business, Pakistan has jumped 6-7 steps ahead as per World Bank's report. Any Belarusian company, any participant of this webinar, if they require further information how to register a company in Pakistan, they can approach us and we can guide them step by step. We can send them a separate presentation which will guide them step by step that how to register a company in Security and Exchange Commission of Pakistan. CPEC. China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. I mean, it's known to everyone, worth 62 million, 2,700 kilometers of road rail networks. It will provide direct employment to 800,000 people. Detailed information about China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is available on Pakistan's Boards of Investment website, as well as in the next slide, I will show the website. It's also available on CPEC GOP website, which is at the lower right bottom of the corner. Apart from other projects, Gwadar Port is a very lucrative investment project which comes under CPEC. It has projects like construction, projects like International Airport, Gwadar East Bay Expressway, berths, industrial facilities, establishment of industrial park, modernization of agriculture infrastructure there. So this is a lucrative opportunity for Belarusian companies if they want to invest in Gwadar Port and its related projects. Further information about Gwadar Port or the CPEC related projects can be obtained from these websites, or I mean, if companies interested, they can write to us. We will provide them this information. Now I will touch towards the tourism in Pakistan. First, I will show a few slides. Pakistan is rich, has a rich variety of unique natural attractions, impressive heritage and architecture, abundant wildlife, valleys in mountains, and modern cities. Presently, from this part of the region, the most famous tourism attraction in Pakistan is adventure tourism. Tourists go there for mountaineering, trekking, skiing, but that's not the only tourism opportunity which is available. There are other opportunities like cultural tourism, as mentioned earlier, that Pakistan has rich culture, historic tourism. We have a lot of historical places, medical tourism. Pakistan's the hospitals, they are state of the art. At present, even people from Middle East and other countries, they do come to Pakistan for their treatment. Natural tourism, we have a lot of natural resources, natural beauty. So these can be developed. Trade Wing and Embassy of Pakistan in Minsk can put the tour operators of Belarus in contact with the tour operators of Pakistan. And I mean, what can be done on that? We can connect the state owned or state operative in the tourism sector in Belarus with the Tourism Development Corporation of Pakistan for some kind of cooperation agreement for the increase of tourism between the two countries. In Russia, the group tourism has already started. Before COVID, we were having large groups from Pakistan, and obviously tourists from Pakistan were going to Russia from going to Pakistan as well. One most attractive thing about the tourism in Pakistan is that the tourism opportunities are available at a much lower cost as compared to other touristic destinations. Now we have a couple of small videos about Pakistan which we would like to play. It's very small, for 3 minutes, to give you an idea of tourism potential of Pakistan. And after that, we are open for question and answer session.
Thank you very much, Minister Hamid. Thank you for your presentation, for your participation via Zoom. Not so far from Moscow, not from Islamabad. But thank you very much for your contribution for this important event for the Belarusian businesses. Now, according with our program, dear participants, there is a big privilege and unique opportunity to start the session Q&A, question and answer. Your Excellency, already we have some questions from Belarusian companies. How can we?
Mr. Chairman, before the start of the session, I would request to play the short video about Pakistan.
Please. Sorry, it was my mistake. Now it's a time for video about Pakistan, and after that will be Q&A session.
Pakistan, the land of 1,000 opportunities. Along with its rapidly growing economy and bustling heritage sites, it is home to a number of languages and cultures, as well as being the host to all 4 seasons and possessing a variety of terrains. Blessed with natural and historical riches, Pakistan's breathtaking destinations include magnanimous mountain ranges, rolling lush plateaus, all dotted with an abundance of pine trees and crystal clear waters to the north. desolate yet alluring and expansive deserts towards the south. In between both extremes, it hosts countless mausoleums, mosques, gardens and lakes. Pakistan's agricultural sector has boosted the country's economy and continues to achieve high numbers of employment. Acres of fertile land, favorable weather conditions, and abundance of rain and rivers are further enhanced with a strong canal irrigation network. The country's manufacturing sector is thriving, with cotton, textile and apparels being the largest industries. Pakistan is predicted to be the world's fastest growing Muslim economy in 2017. Pakistan is also known for its manufacturing of sports goods, which are used by professional teams and tournaments in various countries, including the FIFA World Cup. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is an initiative taken by both neighboring countries to explore investment and bilateral trade. It will link the Gwadar port to the Chinese province of Xinjiang and will act as a game changer not only for Pakistan but for global trade as well. There is constant development in the infrastructure across the country. There are 4 motorways connecting city to city, with 8 more under construction. The Lahore Transport Company, in collaboration with Turkey, also launched the metro bus service in 2013. As a country that is just 70 years of age, we have overcome many obstacles in our way. We have done wonders internationally in all sectors. The growth of our infrastructure and incentivized investment policy initiatives are leading to a continuous emerging Pakistan.
There is something about Pakistan, something magical. There is something about its peaks, the lakes, the valleys, the deserts, the golden beaches, and the exotic cuisine. It is a land rich in history, standing tall and proud. The remnants of ancient glories serve as reminders of where we came from. In the home of centuries-old civilizations, where natural and man-made wonders are plenty, there's a touch of warmth everywhere you go. The culture befriends every soul, makes you feel at home at every step. It is not a place short of hospitality, not a place far from home. It is a place of love and acceptance, of embracing our differences and celebrating our love, with the government's keen focus on expanding its tourism and hospitality sector. It has made visiting and investing in Pakistan all the more easier. Pakistan now offers e-visa facility to over 170 countries and visa on arrival to the citizens of 50 countries. Invest in the next big tourist destination of the world in sectors such as hospitality, hoteling, accommodation, attraction development, because in the end, there is just something special about Pakistan.
Dear our participant from Pakistani side, Your Excellency, now it's a time for the question and answer. You know some questions, please. Floor is yours. A question here in the big list, for example. Or we can ask
start from the audience.
Let's start from the questions. Dear participant, please, for the question, use this podium, this microphone, by technical reasons, because over than 70 participants participate via Zoom. For that reason, please, for the question, this microphone. Пожалуйста. Any question? Here, please. I have some questions. Yeah.
For this event, for your coming here, and for very interesting presentation. Of course, the main topic.
Sorry, your representative.
I wanted to say this right now. My name is Tatiana Ladnova. I represent Belarusian Institute of System Analysis, and it's working on the State Committee for Science and Technology, Belarus. Yes, I have some more as well. Even today, the objective of this meeting is business, but we're working in science and technology, and today business cannot work without this area. And in your presentation, you already mentioned at least IT sphere, but we have a much higher potential in many areas of cooperation. As you also mentioned, during these 5 years, you already signed, there were signed more than 70 agreements, including in science and innovation. And actually, it was even organized a special Belarusian Pakistani Center for improving and development of this cooperation. Actually, both countries have high potential and interest, but point is that, as you mentioned, the key point is communication. Communication is not working well yet. From our side, for example, we send quite a lot of information to our Pakistani colleagues regarding the status of research innovation in our countries, about interesting research results, what have capacity for commercialization, list of, for example, international exhibitions in this area. And we're lacking feedback from your side. So I was thinking to ask you if the embassy can support in this process a little bit, and we can provide you with different materials, catalogs of high-tech products, for example, our technoparks, and quite a lot of information, both in public, in papers, but of course we have it's online, so you can disseminate from to your colleagues in Pakistan, and it will be really of great value. Definitely, and especially there were already 4 interstate commission on science and research innovation, and it's planning the 5th one, so it will be very good if for that moment we can already push our cooperation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for your question. It's a very pertinent question, and I've noted your concern regarding the slow pace of response from Pakistani side. I can mention that Pakistan is doing very well in science and technology. We are the one of the 8 nuclear powers, so you can imagine the advancement in which Pakistan has grown up. Recently, when, for example, COVID-19 came, Pakistan had shortfall of ventilators. So the Minister for Science and Technology, he took the initiative and he said that we have the know-how and we have the capacity, so why don't we produce it in Pakistan? So within 1 month, ventilators started producing in Pakistan, and within 3 months, ventilators were sufficient for entire country. So that is one area which I just wanted to mention. We have high-tech institutes. We have very fine international standard centers of excellence in science and technology. There may have been some communication gap, but I can assure you that we have our team here now, and we are directly now in front of you here, which says about it. And as I mentioned that 2 months ago, we discussed about holding this event and the other event, and today we are already holding it. So I think when we start meeting, we emphasize the importance of the things, and then when we go back to the offices, we push on those things. So the embassy can precisely do what you are suggesting, to pursue the cases which are pending and to expedite the responses from wherever it is possible. Recently, we had a meeting with the rector of National State Technological University here, and he mentioned that we have already signed MOU with 3 universities in Pakistan 5 years ago, but there hasn't been any cooperation between the 2 sides. So we said, okay, we will do it. And I'm happy to say that within 3 weeks, we were able to get responses from one of the Pakistani university, and they have already proposed 4 sets of things to be done within this year. So we can definitely push. What we can do is we will have a separate meeting in your office here in Minsk, and then discuss, the issues which are pending. And then we go back and we will push back in Pakistan, and we hope that, since last 1 year, the focus of the country, you can imagine, has, was partially shifted towards management of the COVID situation. So the entire mindset was of kind of, doing things at home, adjusting to the new reality, and, clarifying the issues. So, but I'm sure that we will be able to put in our best and get responses for the mutually beneficial cooperation in science and technology. Thank you once again for your question.
Thank you very much. I have, of course, more questions, but we really can discuss this at the mutual meeting. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, please. Please.
Good morning. I'm Dobridin. My question is,
You are from
Business Association Corporation with Pakistan, and it's a question, kind of a suggestion, that is there any plan of having a display center in Minsk for the Pakistani goods? To having a display center.
This question is to
Yes.
me, of course, yeah. So thank you very much for this question. Actually, display center historically has been playing a very useful role in terms of providing an instant access to the range of products which can be displayed here. Unfortunately, as of yet, we do not have any display center. The embassy is thinking to have some kind of a mini exhibition place within the embassy premises. And if any business firm in Pakistan is interested to have their products displayed in our embassy small display center, that would be a welcome step. But I think in terms of larger picture, because COVID-19, while it was devastating on one front, it provided all of us an opportunity to explore the opportunity of exhibiting things live on virtual medium. Pakistan held Texpo, which was the textile exhibition of Pakistan recently, and it was largely successful. Of course, it might not have been as successful as physical participation of the businessmen, but a range of products in Pakistan available were kind of on display on the Texpo website. Likewise, I was just discussing with the Honorable Chairman, who also indicated that successfully 2 such exhibitions have been participated, in which some form of physical participation and large participation on the virtual medium was also kind of arranged. So what we can do is to just to have a fresh idea from this discussion is we can recommend to the Trade Development Authority of Pakistan to establish a virtual expo, which is permanent in nature and which can be accessed by anyone around the world.
But of course, the embassy premise would be available to any Pakistani exporters which wish to have their products displayed there. And of course, we will arrange their business cards and the flyers to be available there for any Belarusian importer to see. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I think, Your Excellency, that will be interesting issues for agenda of the next session of the Business Council, our Business Council, because it's important if we have the business initiative, so kind initiative, that's will be, why not? The next question, please. Please, dear participants.
Your Excellency, my name is Igor Falin. I represent limited liability company, Northern Be Here Holtz Group, and we are actually part of woodworking and retailing, distribution, etc. We have a couple of manufacturing lines, productions. I mean, the furniture and outsourcing a bit. So my question is like. We know that COVID-19 changed a lot, all our world. And the point is that I am taking part in, let's say, logistical part of our company in my department. So as far as we know, nowadays, the, let's say, demand for furniture raised for 30% after the first wave of COVID in Russia. And of course, production of furniture demands a big amount of wood and veneer panels from this wood. And we know that Russia nowadays export the majority of the wood to China. But here in Belarus, there is a big amount of wood as well. And my question is, due to the huge soar of logistic expenses that actually raised very much for transshipment from ports, sometimes it's like reached $7,000 per 140 cube container. Is it actually possible to take a part in outsourcing here from Pakistan? Because let's say the labor, the cost of labor is not that huge as it is in Europe, but logistically we are situated between Europe and Russia. We have all the necessary things such as wood and our woodworking productions here in Belarus. And is it possible to outsource here? Like, does it have sense? Because actually, as you know, this is the part of the the center between Russia and Europe, and from here actually it is more or less, let's say, handful to export, let's say, even to Canada, because the Klaipeda port is not so far from here.
Thank you very much for the question. If I understood you correctly, Pakistan also has a big furniture industry. But the expertise in which Pakistan excels is largely kind of a hand-carved furniture which Pakistan produces in a particular city known as Chiniot city. And that hand-carved furniture is exported worldwide. Now, if we are talking of outsourcing of the product that Pakistan is producing and kind of joint venture here and produce it here and then send it across Europe or westward, I would think that it would require a lot of mobility of labor. And because not everybody can create that kind of furniture. It's not like cutting wood straight and fixing like in IKEA kind of a furniture business in Pakistan. So that hand carving is a very artistic kind of a work, which requires a lot of meticulous work and a whole kind of range of, the experts who are doing it in Pakistan. But we can always discuss this possibility that what other products
in the wood industry, like windows, like doors, and other products could possibly be, done through this kind of arrangements. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question, please.
And I would request the Minister of Trade, Mr. Nasir Hamid, if you have anything to add, please raise your hand so that I can give you the forum to use for answering the questions.
Sure.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, your executive and the friends, colleagues. I represent the company of Mozir Sewing Factory. My name is Marina Kachur, and I have seen in the presentation that you presented to us that you are welcome to import from Belarus the trousers, if to speak about garments. What about shirts and other clothes? We produce all kinds of men's wear, women wear, and children's wear, for example, school uniform and all kinds of different uniforms for all workers. And the question of outsourcing our labor is also accurate.
So, Mr. Ambassador.
Yeah, Mr. Nasir, please go ahead.
So the first part of the question is exporting your product to Pakistan, which are garments. What I will suggest is that though in textiles, Pakistan has its own specialization, but you can share the presentation of your company and the products with us, and we will share it with the relevant importers association or the manufacturers, and it will serve the both purpose. If someone is willing to collaborate, outsourcing their manufacturing here, if someone is interested in Pakistan, they will come up, or if they're interested to import the products, if any lead comes up, we can share it with you, or they can directly contact you. We have two kinds of trade bodies in Pakistan. One is which are the exporters associations of different sectors. And then similarly, we have importers associations of different sectors. So this kind of information we can always share with the relevant importers association, and we can let you know as well directly to write to them. These associations are pretty active. They have the list of their members with contact details and everything on their websites. So we can share with this information with you as well, while circulating your company's information in the concerned quarters in Pakistan.
Thank you very much.
Our email address is available here. Samuel, you can provide us our email address to the chamber for the companies, and embassy's email address is there. If any questions are routed to our embassy, we can take care of that as well.
I will be the answer.
That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Marina, I just want to add that similar question we receive also in our chat. I saw it's the same question from our textile company. Please, the next. Who will be next? Yes, Mr. Nasir, please.
I received a list of the participants with questions. If it's okay, I can answer to those questions as well. I can read out the name of the company and their question, and I can answer to those questions.
I think first we will have the questions from the audience here. And after that, if we have time, then we go for the answers.
Okay.
Thank
you. Please, the next question. The floor is open. Microphone is free. Who will be next? I understand, dear participant, that will be also possibility to ask questions face to face, but please use this possibility. I'm afraid, Your Excellency, that of course, I saw in our chat, it's over 21 questions and comments or compliments. No, there aren't any negative remarks, all compliments or questions, but I'm afraid that it will be difficult to answer to all questions during this meeting. My suggestion, we will check all questions what we received during the meeting from our business company. We check it, all questions, what will be available for Chamber of Commerce to prepare the answer. We try to prepare it. The other question we send to the embassy, and we'll be very appreciative for you if you find the possibility to answer to all questions of Belarus companies. please. I have some question, maybe not quite specific question I just received from one the Belarus company. It's concerning the environment of the public or political environment in Pakistan, because you know, Your Excellency, if you try to find the real information in internet, sometimes that's really quite difficult. And the question of the stability for the business, it's one of the important. What would you like to say for this question?
Thank you very much, Excellency, for this question. There is a big amount of negativity on the internet and misinformation, disinformation prevailing on the virtual medium. That as if in Pakistan, some kind of political instability is going on. The fact of the matter is that Pakistan has a solid democratic system. There are democratic transition every 5 years. And Prime Minister Imran Khan, who is the current ruling Prime Minister, has been in power for the last 2.5 years almost. And the term is 5 years' time. So every 5 years, there is general election. And after the elections, the next government is chosen. And this is the third consecutive government which for the first time in the history of Pakistan completed 5 terms, and now this government is going to complete its 5 terms. So there is total stability in terms of political leadership in Pakistan. There hasn't been any change in the discourse of economic policies, so to say. So even if the government changes, the next government is largely following the economic policies of engaging the world and investment policy. So there hasn't been any default, so to say, by the government in Pakistan. On the economic front, you can say that the Minister of Trade already mentioned that Pakistan started receiving investment in 2013 from China. So around $62 billion of investment is going on in a range of areas, including on the infrastructure level, in the road network, in the railways, in the Gwadar seaport, which is one of the deepest seaports in the area, and which will have the biggest size of container dock in that area, which is already ready. A airport is being built, and multiple route connectivity projects are going on within the Pakistan, 3 tracks going on in Pakistan. And now the talks are that the further progress will be towards Central Asia. So you can imagine that Central Asian region, CIS countries, will have direct access to the Arabian Sea through Pakistani road network. And not only China has started investing $62 billion, there is around $20 billion of investment projects under approval stage by Saudi Arabia. There are Qatari companies who are investing, UAE companies are investing, even Canadian companies and Western companies, and some few German and other companies are also investing. Around 1,000 MNCs are operating in Pakistan. And I had one slide in my presentation, which I didn't show because that part was being covered by Minister of Trade. Many of these multinational corporations like Unilever and Procter & Gamble, all those, their profit and their business in Pakistan during the last 10 years has increased by almost 16 times as compared to their world average, which is around 3%. So between 3% increase to 16% increase in Pakistan. As I mentioned in my presentation, that it's a big country, 220 million population. Entry is, of course, not very easy because of the language barriers, different, people, culture, society, and all that. But when you have reached to that market, a whole, just imagine Belarus is almost 10 million. So 22 countries of Belarus size is in one country in Pakistan. So there is huge potential. So the only thing is that, you have to reach there, establish your foot, and then grow further. All these MNCs have done exactly the same. I hope
Thank you very much. The other question concern the China-Pakistan corridor. When we were in Islamabad 5 years ago, we discussed about the possibility to participate in this ambition project, some Belarusian machinery companies. Is it still open to find the possibility to participate in this project, or it's What is your comments, Your Excellency?
Excellency, thank you for the question. CPEC is originally, it started with China and the projects were being implemented by China. But there are 9 special economic zones being built and under this scheme, 9. Out of 9, 3 is at advanced stage. So already the plotting has been done and the properties have been allocated to the companies. And so depending on the type of work which is going on, it is open to all international companies to participate in investment as well as in supplying the products. But I would think because China is doing the project, so a lot of projects where China is doing, the machinery is also being kind of procured by them, and China is also supplier of big machinery. But there is no restriction from the government of Pakistan side on introduction of any machinery by a third country. Investment is also possible. The machinery and equipment can also be procured by companies from anywhere which is competitive, which is available. So we were discussing the other day that which are the top brands which are coming to Pakistan. Probably Caterpillar machineries are coming. There are this Japanese machineries are also available.
Belas yet.
Belas has made a very small entry, I understand, 2 years ago through the Armed Forces of Pakistan, because we have the FWO, Federal Frontier Works Organization, which is one of the biggest organization in Pakistan. It does all the infrastructure projects arranged by the armed forces, and they have procured some machinery. But of course, the ground is open for anyone to compete. And I understand Belas produces one of the biggest dumpers in the world, 240?
Yes,
or
450.
450 metric tons. So no other country could possibly, compete in that, and prices also competitive. I think the means of communication, as we have been emphasizing in today's discussion, should be kept open, and aggressively we have to kind of reach out to the potential users in Pakistan. If you would require, if Belas would require such organized list, we would be ready to provide such list, and meetings could also be arranged with those organizations in Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you. The other question concerning the financial instrument of support of for Belarusian companies who send some serious and important products to the Pakistani market, as a Belas, for example. Is there some instrument from the bank for leasing company? What is the system in Pakistan?
Mr. Nasser, would you like to comment on this question?
Mr. Chairman, can you please repeat the question?
My question concerning the financial instrument of support of the trade cooperation between Pakistan and Belarus. Is there any banks or financial structure in Pakistan in this sphere?
As far as the banks in Pakistan are concerned, there are no restrictions while transferring amounts from Belarus to Pakistan or Pakistan to Belarus for the trading activity, for imports and exports and everything. Trade is going on between this region, between Russia, Belarusia. Recently, even I was glad to know that a few Pakistani companies have come to Russia. They have opened their own offices. They have registered their companies. They are importing from Pakistan. They are selling in a local market, and vice versa. They are looking into the possibility of what they can export from Belarus to Pakistan. And these, I personally know 3-4 companies, and they don't have any issue with the transfer of payments from Belarus to Pakistan or from Pakistan to Belarus. If any of your member companies do come across with such a situation or a problem, it can be brought to the notice of embassy or to me, and we can take it up with our State Bank of Pakistan, with the central bank, to sort it out if there is any issue being reported. At the moment, I don't see any issues ever reported to me.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask one more time, is any question, dear participants here in our conference room, concerning the question what we receive in the chat? We decide that we will check everything. We are in time concerning our session. But before the closing this part of our conference, our meeting, I would like to ask Minister Nazir Hamid, would you like to add some words for conclusions? And also I would like to ask Samuel Bagdasaryan. Samuel, what is the role of you as a trade development officer? Is it possible, for example, for Belarusian company to communicate directly with you for some business issues? But first I would like to ask Mr. Nazir Hamid.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, thank you for asking. I will be as we are accredited to Belarus for the trade matters, but our embassy and our ambassador is very active there now. So your companies, they can approach to embassy and they can directly write to us for any question. Even if they will approach to embassy, it will be rerouted to us. So we are here. All the Belarusian companies, if they have any questions, they have any issues. In fact, there was one of the questions which were sent to, provided to me. There is a trade dispute of one of the Belarusian company, and it was mentioned in the questionnaire. I will ask them to send their complete detail of their trade dispute, including the details of the Pakistani company, to Mr. Samuel, and we will take it up in the concerned authorities in Pakistan. Samuel, you can go ahead.
Please, Samuel.
Yeah, good afternoon, colleagues. I have a couple of my comments, and Mr. Nazir Hamid has already replied. Our colleagues from Belarus are welcome to send any requests. They can give a call, or whenever they want us to approach, we are here to help them. There were a couple of questions, one from the textile company. I would like to say the company which was planning to export the textile garments to Pakistan. Here, I would like to say that despite Pakistan one of the largest exporters of the textile garments, but there is a room where these the Belarus and Pakistan can cooperate. And first of all, this is more in the countries of the Eurasian Union. As Belarusian companies, textile companies are are famous in the former Soviet Union countries, and now, of course, the Eurasian Union. We know the quality of the products made in Belarus. We can buy Belarusian products here in Russia, in Wildberries, in Ozon, or in any other e-commerce platforms. I assume this formula can be used in potential cooperation between Pakistani exporters and producers of textiles and Belarusians, as Belarusians can help Pakistani companies sell their products in e-commerce platforms of Eurasian Union, mainly Russian. So here I would say that we can achieve some win-win cooperation, or we can call it synergy. Second thing, Pakistani textiles are mostly made by cotton, while Belarus, I know that is also producing made staple fabrics garments. So some products which are not producing, which are not being produced by Pakistan, Belarus can help. So in this respect, I can see that our countries can cooperate. Also, not only in textiles, but also in the leather garments, our countries has very huge potential to cooperate. For example, we also know that Belarus has a huge number of the factories, producers of the textiles. And in this respect, Pakistani companies can be interested to sign joint ventures with the Belarusian producers of textiles. I mean, these are the spheres which I see that we can start cooperation right away. one more thing I would like to mention, and this is the outcome of COVID, as Pakistan has a big number of exporters of bandages, gauze, medical textiles. So this is another sector where the countries potentially can cooperate and jointly penetrate Eurasian market. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bagdasaryan. Dear participants, before we are going to the informal part of our meeting, I would like to ask Your Excellency some words for the conclusion for everybody.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I can only say, I mean, today's event has been very successful in terms of our first round of communication. I can see that around 70 plus companies attended the event on Zoom, and around 25 companies represented by 33 members were here physically to attend this event. So all in all, it's around 120 companies. So which is a very positive development. I thank you all for making it to this event, despite your busy schedule. And on behalf of the Embassy of Pakistan, Government of Pakistan, I'd like to thank you and assure you that we would be there to help you out with any trade inquiries, facilitation, communication, establishing contacts, and if there are any issues, to resolve them also subsequently. Minister of Trade has graciously given his time. He was available with us, and he has been very responsive to the embassy, our request, and he has already shared his email, which will be available to the Bell CCI, and anyone interested can get the information. The embassy's website and Facebook social media is functional. Any communication that you make through the embassy online would be also instantly responded to. So we hope that today's event has just put in the first, we can say, the step towards the right direction after many months of kind of a pause. But we hope that we work together and broaden our trade and development cooperation with Pakistan. Just last one word, I saw in the beginning of the list that there were some university representatives also who wanted to participate in the event. I'm sure some of them are represented in the audience in the Zoom media. So Pakistan has a good educational university, higher education system. With few universities, we have signed MOUs and cooperation agreements. Pakistan would be ready to sign any more agreements which are practically implementable, and where we can see that, you know, the progress of student-to-student exchange and faculty and expertise and research and all that could be made possible. So the Embassy of Pakistan would be available for any trade facilitation, education facilitation, or broadening our ties. I thank you all once again. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I'm sure that was very important, the first step we just started, because I'm absolutely sure that we have a lot of possibility for develop our trade and economic and business relationship. Yeah, I would like to thank also all participants. For somebody, we try to open the new vision for the Pakistan. In spite of the distance, it's today it's that's the problem of the distance. It's just a problem of intention to cooperate, the problem to find the potential partner, serious partners. When we discuss together with the embassy, it's one of the guarantee for Belarus companies to serious support, to guarantee to find a serious partner in Pakistan. I would like for the end, I would like to tell my personal impression. When I was in Islamabad 5 years ago, it was a big visit, and it was a B2B meeting in Islamabad Chamber of Commerce. Our partners, the Chamber of Commerce of Islamabad, to invite a lot of businessmen from Islamabad. I sat at the table with indication Belarus, and everybody came to my table. Belarus is very good, very good. I was so proud because I think that everybody knows the Belarus. No, in fact, everybody knows the tractor Belarus. It's very, very famous in Pakistan. It's a funny story, but it's a serious from other side, because really, we know Pakistan as our partner. And in Pakistan, a lot of people know Belarus, thanks for our products, as a serious country with serious products. So let's use all of this possibility. Let's use all our success story of our companies, and let's do together serious things. Thank you very much again, Your Excellency, for your participation. And I thanks again for big privilege that we have now not formality level of communication, and also possibility to taste some regional Pakistani cuisine. Thank you very much, Minister Hamid, for your participation. Samuel, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much, our Belarusian colleagues. I would like to repeat that Chamber of Commerce, your partners, please join us. Our mission to support all your business activity with our foreign partners. Thank you very much again, Your Excellency. And let's invite all people to the next room.
To the next room. Thank you very much once again.
An applause.